Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2020 Yale School of Music Commencement Ceremony. This year marks the first time in the 125-year history of the school that we have been unable to gather together to celebrate the achievements of our graduating students. Yet, the music that brought us and the 124 classes of young artists to Yale will always bind us together. As we begin this afternoon's celebration, I am delighted to greet all of you joining us online. Our extraordinary graduates, our students and alumni, our distinguished faculty and dedicated staff, and the families, friends, and guests of the class of 2020. Welcome, and thank you for being with us on this very special day. I know you will join me in expressing thanks to Professor Bill Purvis and our brass students for their wonderful prelude that preceded the beginning of our program. Today, our invocation will be given by the choral conducting students of Marguerite Brooks and Jeffrey D.M.A. In the silence of your spaces and hearts, hear the music of Ernest Bloch from his sacred service. Thank you. Teaching excellence is best exemplified in the life and the works of a teacher's students. Today, it is my high honor to recognize a member of our faculty who epitomizes the legacy of teaching excellence that has existed in the Yale School of Music since its founding in 1894. Named for Yale's first professor of music, the Gustav Steckel Award is presented to a member of the faculty who, like Steckel, has made extraordinary contributions to the Yale School of Music, and in doing so, has enriched the school and enlarged its role in America's musical life. The recipient of this year's Gustav Steckel Award for Excellence in Teaching is Marguerite Brooks. Professor Brooks founded the Yale Camerata, a chorus of town-gown singers that she molded and shaped into an ensemble of the highest musical standards. Her commissions of new works for choral ensembles by leading composers, especially women, ensured that music of our time and creation was given a place alongside that of time-honored composers and their works. More important, of course, is the experience Maggie has given her students here at the School of Music and at the Institute of Sacred Music. Today, many of Maggie's former students lead ensembles all over the world, connecting people to our art form and the beauty of the human voice. Professor Brooks taught the founding conductors of Conspiare, Roomful of Teeth, and Seraphic Fire, all of which received Grammy nominations, and the first two of which won Grammy Awards. Please join me in thanking Maggie for her service to music at Yale and beyond. She has immeasurably enriched the school and the wider world. Congratulations, Maggie. Your work brings honor to us, and we are deeply appreciative of the many ways you have contributed to the enrichment of our lives. It is also my honor and privilege to recognize the excellence that our students bring to the School of Music community. Each year at Commencement, we award 3 prizes to students. The first, the Harriet Gibbs Fox Memorial Prize, is awarded to a student who has achieved the highest grade point average during his or her first year at the School of Music. And the award this year goes to Xiying Hu. The Horatio Parker Memorial Prize, which is given each year to a student the faculty believes has best fulfilled Dean Horatio Parker's lofty musical ideals, goes this year to Hannah Pauline Tarley. The Dean's Prize, the school's highest excellence award, is given to a member of the graduating class who is selected by the dean in consultation with the faculty. This year's Dean's Prize is awarded to Miles Van Walter. Please join me in congratulating these 3 students for their accomplishments. 2 weeks ago, we would have gathered for the annual Honors Banquet and enjoyed a celebratory evening where student prizes would have been awarded. I am thrilled to announce the winners of student prizes for this year at our commencement ceremony. I hope that the exuberant joy we share for the accomplishments of the prize recipients will significantly diminish the disappointment of not being able to have this celebration in person. Our community's collective achievements speak to the individual promise of each of our students who strive for excellence in their artistry and who are developing into the cultural leaders our world needs and deserves. This year's prize winners reflect that truth clearly. In the brass and woodwinds category, the Thomas Daniel Knifinger Prize, which is awarded to a graduating student who has demonstrated the highest standard of excellence in woodwind playing. The Knifinger Prize this year is awarded to Eleni E. Katz. The John Swallow Prize, which is given to an outstanding brass player whose artistry and dedication have contributed to the department, is awarded to Melissa Genevieve Munoz. And now I want to recognize Professor William Purvis, the coordinator of the brass and woodwind area, for a few congratulatory words.
I send warm greetings to my friends in the wind and brass world. Eleni, you were selected for this prize from all your stellar woodwind cohorts for your exceptional bassoon playing, your leadership among the winds and beyond, and most of all, for your charismatic and vibrant musical spirit. Congratulations. Melissa, you have impressed everyone with your dedication, wonderful trumpet playing, and resourceful musical soul. Moreover, you have been a ray of sunshine among your exceptional brass colleagues. Congratulations.
In the choral conducting category, the Robert Shaw Prize, given in honor of the renowned American choral conductor and awarded to a choral conducting major in the School of Music who was chosen for distinguished achievement by the choral conducting faculty. This year's Robert Shaw Prize goes to Madeline Zhang Woodworth. Professor Maggie Brooks has a congratulatory message for Madeline.
The conductor, Robert Shaw, was known for the breadth of his musical interests, from Bach to the commissioning of some of the most extraordinary choral orchestral pieces in our repertoire. Madeline, you share these qualities. Your joy of Palestrina shines in your eyes as you sing, and your programming of the music of our times has been evident throughout your time at Yale. Congratulations.
In the area of composition, the Woods Chandler Memorial Prize, which is awarded to the student who composed the best work in a larger form during this past year, is awarded to Paul Martilla. The Rena Greenwald Memorial Prize, which is awarded to the student who composed the best work for piano during the year, is given to Anteo Martin Fabrice. The John Day Jackson Prize, which recognizes outstanding chamber music compositions written for strings, with or without other instruments, is awarded to Peter Sejong Shin. The Francis E. Osborne Kellogg Memorial Prize, which recognizes the best composition written in a contrapuntal style, goes to Ryan Elliott Lindveit. And the Ezra Latterman Prize, which is given to students who wrote the best compositions for musical theater or voice, is awarded to Gabrielle Lily Herbst and Alexis Caitlin Lamb. It's my pleasure to recognize Professor Chris Theophanidis, who has a greeting for our Composition Prize winners.
A hearty congratulations from the whole composition faculty to the winners of these wonderful prizes this year. It really has been a standout year in our history for inventive and substantive new works from our composers. And even in these last few difficult months, we have seen some incredible pieces being composed, both for traditional forces, but also for some non-traditional forces, growing out of the necessities of this new period, including maybe even the first new Zoom opera. You all are creative artists of the highest level, and you're going to lead the way forward, even in these difficult times. And so we are very happy to honor you here with these prizes. Here's to you guys. Congratulations.
We turn now to guitar and to the Elliott Fisk Prize, which is given to an outstanding guitarist whose artistic achievement and dedication have contributed greatly to the department. This year's winner is Xiaobo Pu. And now a message from Professor Ben Verderi.
Hi, Xiaobo! A huge bravo for your Elliott Fisk Prize. So deserved. You inspired me and your colleagues throughout your entire tenure at Yale with your stellar playing and your highly individual approach to the instrument and the repertoire. Keep going, keep on this path, and I hope to see you very soon.
We have two prizes to be awarded in the organ area. The Charles Ives Prize, which is awarded to an outstanding organ major, goes to Ethan Heyman. And the Julia Sherman Memorial Prize for Excellence in Organ Playing is awarded to Chase Loomer. Professor of Organ and Director of the Institute of Sacred Music, Martin Jean, has a congratulatory message for our Organ Prize recipients.
Ethan Heyman is one of our more fearless students whose broad interest in music has inspired him to explore all corners of our repertoire. He's entrepreneurial, adventurous, not only a superb organist, but also an excellent composer. And he's a polylinguist, having grown well acquainted with more than 6 languages. Congratulations, Ethan. Chase Loomer is one of our hardest working and most productive organ students. He's tackled some of the most challenging repertoire we've got and presented some of it at the International Longwood Gardens Organ Competition last summer. He is, at the same time, a skilled and very pastoral church musician, and very worthy of this, our most prestigious School of Music prize for an organ student. Congratulations, Chase.
It is my pleasure to announce the two prizes from piano. The Charles S. Miller Prize, which is awarded to a gifted pianist who has done outstanding work during the first year of study, goes to Salome Jordania. The Elizabeth Pariseau Prize, which is given to outstanding pianists at the School of Music, is awarded to two students this year, Alexa Steyer and Derek Hardman. Professor Boris Berman has a congratulatory message for the winners of the piano prizes.
Salome, in the course of this year, I saw a growth in your playing, musical maturity, and heightened sense of purpose. You made yourself a vital, integral part of the piano department. I look forward to even greater achievements in the next year. Alexa, your year has been very productive. You showed high standards in all your pursuits, including exemplary presentations in the piano seminar. I particularly value your willingness to conquer new musical styles and idioms. Derek, you were very industrious this year. You are a serious and conscientious learner, always interested in discovering new things. Your reliability and friendly openness earned you respect of your colleagues. Congratulations to all of you.
In the area of strings, we have several prizes. The first is the Georgina Lucy Grosvenor Memorial Prize, which is awarded to the violist in the graduating class whose performances at Yale have exhibited the highest potential for success as a soloist or a chamber musician. This year, the Grosvenor Prize goes to Bethany Grace Hargraves. The Aldo Pariseau Prize is given to gifted cellists who show promise for a concert career. This year, it is awarded to Saint Lee and to Bobeli. And finally, the Broadus Earl Prize, which is awarded this year to 6 outstanding violinists in the School of Music, 2 each from the studios of Shoko Aki Earl, Annie Kavafian, and Yo Kong. The students are Rebecca Benjamin, James Poe, Julia Haley Ariella Mizoyev, Shine Lauren Anderson, Jesse Chin, and Elena Monica Kawazu. Here now is Professor Shoko Aki.
The string department faculty sends congratulations to the winners of the string prizes and all the 2020 graduates.
We have 4 awards in the area of vocal studies. The David L. Kasdan Memorial Prize, which is awarded to an outstanding singer at the School of Music, goes to Hans Joseph Tostian. The Simitri Deb Memorial Prize, which is given to an outstanding graduating singer who best reflects and exemplifies the ideals and values of Simitri Deb and her commitment to teaching low-income and underrepresented children, is awarded to Laura Nicole Nielsen. The Phyllis Curtin Career Entry Prize, which is given to a graduating voice student who demonstrates exceptional talent as an artist and promise for a professional career, is awarded to Madeline Schofield Ellinger. And the Franz Hassel Prize, given to a graduating singer with strong career potential who demonstrates superior linguistic skill and talent, goes to Andres Mauricio Benavides Cascante. We now have a message from Doris Yarrick Cross, Coordinator of Vocal Studies and Director of Yale Opera.
Selecting prize winners is a lot more difficult than assigning roles because the faculty and staff know how hard all of our voice students work. So why were you recognized? Hans, for your devotion to scholarship and meticulous preparation. Laura, for your joy in singing and desire to bring all into the musical community. Andres, for your ability to submerge yourself in accent, inflection, and style of all the singing languages. Madeline, for your pursuit of the highest standards of your art, your virtuosity in singing, your artistic drive and performance in both opera and recital. Congratulations to all of you.
In the Doctor of Musical Arts program, the Friedman Thesis Prize is for a D.M.A. thesis notable for its distinguished research, original perspective, in-depth engagement with its subject, and well-crafted presentation. This year, the Friedman Thesis Prize goes to Ryan Kennedy. Ryan, a message from Professor Paul Berry to you.
Congratulations, Ryan, and thank you. Throughout your time in residence in the D.M.A. program, I've admired your independence of thought and your willingness to learn from the unfamiliar. These two gifts intertwine in your thesis on the daunting organ works of Khosrow Sorabji. It is not easy to write about music that's never been recorded, nor to advocate for repertoire that most would find unplayable, nor to retrace the isolated life of a prickly composer who alienated colleagues and critics alike. But such work reveals the true scholar's tenacious love of the unknown. Thank you for holding us all to our calling as curious musicians.
It is my pleasure now to present the school-wide prizes, and I want to thank the faculty who nominated students for each of these prizes, and also our steering committee who worked and deliberated with me to determine the recipients of the prizes for 2020. The Malcolm L. Mitchell and Donald M. Roberts Class of 1957 Prize is awarded to an outstanding graduating teaching artist in the Music in Schools initiative. This year, the award goes to Rabina Hyunjae Lee. I call now on our Associate Dean, Michael Yaffe, for a congratulatory message for Rubina.
Rubina, congratulations on receiving the Teaching Artist Prize. You are a great example of what a teaching artist should be. You're a mentor. You know how to make children feel comfortable in doing music. You relate to families. You relate to the teachers of New Haven, to the other students and teaching artists in our program. And the Music in Schools Initiative staff and I just knew you were so deserving of this prize.
The Philip F. Nelson Prize, which is given to a student whose musicianship is outstanding and who demonstrates curiosity, talent, and the entrepreneurial spirit in the many dimensions of the music profession, is awarded this year to Ariel Horowitz. The Presser Foundation Music Award. This award goes to an outstanding returning student to advance that student's music education. This year's recipient is Mateen Assad Milan. The Yale School of Music Alumni Association prizes are awarded to graduating students who have excelled in their respective fields and have made important contributions to the School of Music. This year, these prizes are awarded to the following students: Cameron Conley Daly, Harry Joseph Dernberg, Russell Jordan Fisher, Gabriela Strata, Llewellyn Kingman Sanchez Werner, Amelia Bryn Merriman, Kenneth Andrew Chalby, Alexis Caitlin Lamb, Ross Whiteman, Catherine Arndt, and Carolina Voteshko. Congratulations to all of our prize winners. Congratulations to all of you students for the important contributions you have made to the life of music, not only here in the School of Music, but in all corners of the globe where you have performed and shared your music with others. Also, I want to congratulate those of you who were awarded prizes from the Institute of Sacred Music. To all of our prize winners, heartiest congratulations to you. I want to say a few words now to the graduating students. By the end of spring break, on March 20 in the year 2020, on Yale's normally vibrant campus, the centrally situated School of Music, a place that would have been further enlivened by spring recitals, class projects, job interviews, auditions, and all else that leads to this very day, was quiet, ghost-like in its own shroud of silence. It still is. The disappointment among and between us all is palpable. I am reminded of Hemingway's words near the end of A Farewell to Arms. The world breaks everyone, and then some become strong at the broken places. Our disappointments overflow from this well of brokenness. We did not sense this ending, one with fast exits and no returns. Far too few goodbyes and hugs were exchanged among us. The legacy of performing and hearing degree recitals on this stage in Sprague Hall was lost to us, and memorable events like the annual Honors Banquet and this very commencement ceremony were canceled. We tried to remember what it was like to be in Mark's Commons at lunchtime, to rehearse together in opera or orchestra hall, to coach chamber music with a beloved faculty member, or to grab a coffee at Blue State with friends. We all wondered about and tried to make sense of our predicament, of our wounded psyches from having our lives turned upside down, and now of a future more uncertain than ever. Those of us left behind on the deserted campus were locked out with no place to practice, no place to study, no place to visit. Each of us has our own litany of personal loss and disappointment, and most are lengthy. Yet, in the midst of turmoil and uncertainty that exacerbated our disappointments and fueled our anxieties, your compassion for others was a model for humankind. You looked beyond yourselves, and many of you texted or emailed me asking how you or how we as a school could help the families of students you were teaching in our Music in Schools programs, because you knew that some of their parents had lost their jobs. Some of you cooked and shared food with friends, while others opened your apartments to classmates who had no place to go because they could not pay their rent. What, you inquired, is being done for the homeless people in New Haven? You exhibited uncommon patience and understanding with your own conditions. And I learned from you that strength can be found at broken places. Compassion was your antidote for disappointment. Despair, however, is the place where hopelessness resides. It is the destination for those who have been completely broken by the world and its relentless disappointments. The artist must summon the courage to take a different, unmapped route. And that detour around the destination of despair enables us to push forward. Great leaders always tell the truth. Please listen carefully to the words of President John F. Kennedy from an address at Amherst College on October 26, 1963, less than a month before he was assassinated. The occasion was the dedication of the Robert Frost Library, and I am substituting music for poetry in the latter part of the quote. And these were President Kennedy's words on that day. Robert Frost brought an unsparing instinct for reality to bear on the platitudes and pieties of society. His sense of human tragedy fortified him against self-deception and easy consolation. I have been, he wrote, one acquainted with the night. And because he knew the midnight as well as the high noon, because he understood the ordeal as well as the triumph of the human spirit, he gave his age strength with which to overcome despair. When power narrows the area of man's concern, music reminds him of the richness and diversity of his existence. When power corrupts, music cleanses. For art establishes the basic human truth, which must serve as the touchstone of our human existence. This global pandemic has acquainted and is acquainting us with the dark of night. Such darkness can illumine your understanding of the human spirit. Remember that the arts tell the truth about humankind and the planet and the universe we inhabit as temporary guests. To fully resist the allures of despair and its false promises of rest, the courage you summon also requires risk. Musicians are accustomed to taking calculated artistic risks that are inherent in any performance. Here, I am not speaking of the visceral rush that occurs when the high note is perfectly placed, or even when the intentions of the composer are perfectly realized. The courage I reference calls us to risk our hearts and minds to new possibilities, new adventures, new ways of harnessing and releasing our innate talents. It could well be that life holds plans for you that you have not considered. If compassion is an antidote to disappointment, perhaps courage is an antibiotic for despair. But courage and risk together are cornerstones for determination. Only your determination to reveal truth through your art will offer hope to present and future societies. Remember that the arts tell the truth, and your vision must take you, without fear and obstruction, to the truth as you see, understand, and sense it. It is fitting in the 250th birth year of Beethoven that I turn to him as an exemplar for vision and determination. In a Wall Street Journal op-ed piece several years ago, David Gelernter, professor of computer science at Yale and a former member of the National Endowment for the Arts, had this to say about Beethoven, and I quote, You must know Beethoven's music because no one has said anything deeper about what it means to be human. To look life and death in the eye, to know beauty at its purest and most intense, if you can take it. Because Beethoven asserts his own mere human self against the cosmos and makes it listen. He addresses God face to face, like Moses, whether God listens or not. And so people all over the world study and listen to his music with reverence, end quote. The point in this is that Beethoven the artist tells the truth as he perceives it, and that is the task and the joy of the artist. Your determination to reveal truth depends on your ability to learn far more from your failures than your successes. And it hinges on the necessity to think clearly, independently, nimbly, and to concentrate long enough to develop an idea and a plausible argument for support. An artist's determination to educate and enlighten with new ideas and visioning comes from deep respect and humility for the art, not individual superiority born of insecurity. What forms of music making will you imagine for the future? And how will they be delivered? Can music be sustained as a public art? Will music be accessible to all people, poor and rich, no color discrimination, no geographical boundaries? Will people hear, feel, and experience music in the years ahead? And what role can you play in ensuring that all humankind has that hope? The future is your gift, and I am confident that you will seize new opportunities to reimagine and reshape the durable values of music. But it will be your compassion, your courage, and your determination that create a new vaccine of hope for humankind, one made with your musical and artistic impulses. As we conclude this most unusual year, I am reminded that Robert Frost wrote that we should look backward with pride and forward with hope. Many of our successes, and indeed many transformative moments in history, have faced daunting challenges framed by disappointment and despair. But the sheer determination to move forward ensures new beginnings for you and for all that you and your talent will touch. Thank you, and God bless you. I want to thank Professor Cobb and members of the Trumpet Studio for the splendid fanfare that announces the reading of names of all diploma recipients. Earlier this morning, President Salovey conferred all degrees that are being awarded today at Yale University. Among those were 2 honorary degrees in music. Renee Fleming and Herbie Hancock are legendary musicians in their own right and in their own field. I'm pleased to share a message to our graduating class from one of our honorary music recipients, Renee Fleming.
I'm honored to join all of you as a fellow degree recipient at Yale University today. It's a challenging time for a career in music. Any time is, but you should know this. You will be taking what you've built at the Yale School of Music into a world that needs your special gifts more than ever before. And one thing I've learned in my career is the central importance of music to our well-being, to our culture, and to our communities. And I encourage each of you to fight to make yourself heard. And I look forward to hearing you too. Congratulations.
Now we will recognize each of you by name for the awarding of your diplomas. The Doctor of Musical Arts degree reflects the highest academic and artistic standards of Yale and the professional world. Today, we recognize 7 individuals who have earned this distinction, and I want to invite them all to return to the 2021 YSM commencement to be properly hooded by their major professors and committees. Deputy Dean Melvin Chin will read the names of the D.M.A. graduates and their citations.
Samuel Stephen Suggs. Sam Suggs is the first solo bassist in 36 years to join the Concert Artists Guild roster and was recently recognized with an award for extraordinary creativity at the 2017 Braidetich Foundation International Double Bass Competition. A paradigm-shifting bassist-composer, Mr. Suggs was named New Artist of the Month by Musical America. Applauded by the Strad for his brilliant and compelling programming, he has performed at the Mostly Mozart Festival, Yellow Barn, Chamber Music Northwest, Lincoln Center, Carnegie Hall, the Kennedy Center, and with his contemporary jazz trio, Triple Point. He is assistant professor of bass at James Madison University and teaches at the Heifetz Institute, Peabody Bass Works, Sewanee Summer Music Festival, and the Juilliard Summer Strings Program in Shanghai. Nola Louise Richardson. Described by the New York Times as a, quote, especially impressive soprano, Nola Richardson has won first prize in all 3 major American competitions focused on the music of Johann Sebastian Bach. These honors have earned her engagements with the foremost Baroque ensembles and symphonies around the country, including the Seattle Symphony, Philharmonia Baroque Orchestra, and the Leipzig Bach Festival. Past highlights include her debut at the Kennedy Center with Opera Lafayette, which drew praise for her particularly appealing freshness and directness, a review of Sondheim's music with the Boston Pops, and a standout performance as the First Lady in the Magic Flute with the Clarion Music Society. Sean Kennard. American pianist Sean Kennard has won top prizes in international competitions, including the Queen Elizabeth, Hilton Head, and Chopin Competition of the Pacific. The Washington Post praised Kennard's, quote, powerful and involved music making, describing him as a, quote, strong, luminous pianist. He has released albums on multiple labels and appeared as a soloist with orchestras around the world, including the Prague Radio Symphony, Yomiuri Nippon Symphony, National Orchestra of Belgium, Chamber Orchestra of Frankfurt, and many others. He has joined the faculty of Stetson University's School of Music as assistant professor and piano area coordinator. Michael Anthony Noble. Michael Noble has developed an international reputation as a versatile pianist whose performances and initiatives have engrossed audiences throughout Asia, Europe, and the Americas. Michael has been called, quote, a pianist to remember by Het Nieuwsblad, and his playing has been hailed as elegant, stylish, powerful, and poetic. Mr. Noble has been a guest artist at the Ghent Festspiele in Belgium, Quadraphonic Festival in Poland, the Lake George Music Festival, Music Sommer Schloss Rosenegg in Austria, and the Thailand International Composition Festival. He has appeared with the Monterey and Tulsa Symphonies and the Idlewild Arts Academy Alumni Orchestra. Mr. Noble is the co-founder and director of the Monterey-based Music of Changes Festival that presents adventurously, thematically based programs. Ronaldo Rolim da Silva Filho. Brazilian pianist Ronaldo Rolim has performed extensively over 4 continents and captured top prizes at numerous international competitions, including the James Mottram, Bosendorfer, and Concours Geza Anda in Zurich. Mr. Rolim's latest album, quote, Szymanowski, the Wartime Triptychs, is devoted to the programmatic works the Polish composer wrote during World War I, the topic extensively discussed in Mr. Rolim's doctoral thesis. Mr. Rolim has performed with the Tonhaller Orchestra Zurich, Phoenix Symphony, Royal Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra, and many of Brazil's foremost ensembles. He has been featured in solo recitals and chamber music performances at Ravinia, the Kingston Chamber Music Festival, and the Lake George Music Festival. Mr. Rolim is a founding member of Trio Appassionata, whose recent projects includes tours of Brazil and China and the release of its debut album, quote, Gone into Night Are All the Eyes. Yevgeny Yontov. Yevgeny Yontov previously received a Master of Music from the Yale School of Music and has established himself as one of the most promising Israeli pianists of his generation. He has received the prize for Best Performance of Chamber Music, Best Israeli Pianist at the 2017 Arthur Rubinstein International Piano Master Competition. Other international top prizes include gold medals at the Weidman and Berliner International Piano Competitions. He is a founding member of the Icarus Quartet, a 2-piano, 2-percussion chamber group. He has performed chamber music across 5 continents in venues including Carnegie Hall, the Kennedy Center, and others. Mr. Yontov has given master classes across the United States, Israel, and China, and in 2018 joined the Distinguished Piano Faculty of Bowling Green State University. Benjamin Paulo Hoffman. Violinist Benjamin Hoffman is an avid chamber and orchestral musician and can be heard in performances across North America, Europe, and Asia. Based in Los Angeles, Benjamin is a founding member of the Ubuntu String Quartet and a rotating concertmaster of the Kaleidoscope Chamber Orchestra, regularly leading performances of large orchestral works without a conductor. In a recent performance of the Beethoven Violin Concerto, he was praised for virtuosity and deep feeling, impeccable intonation, and a stirring, inspired performance by Critic magazine. In his Carnegie Hall debut, he performed music of Yale's own Aaron J. Kernis, and he recently had the honor of performing before the United Nations Secretary Ban Ki-moon.
I know you join Deputy Dean Chin and me in our congratulations of these D.M.A. graduates. This is an incredibly significant achievement, and we send our best wishes to each of you. And again, I hope you will return next year for commencement so that we can hood you as we would have this year if we had been together. We now recognize the 41 graduates who have received the Master of Musical Arts degree.
Brendan Dooley, Lucas Guedes Oliveira, Jung-Ah Yoon, Lauren Claire White, Richard Adger, Ziqi Yue, Gabriel Allen Mayerson, Russell Jordan Fisher, Arlo William Schultes, Shiqi Zhong, Chuang Fang, Hilda Huang, Chi Kong, Peng Lin, Gabriela Strata, Jenny Wan, Nathan Huvard, Andres Mauricio Benavides Cascante, Mary Teresa Kesser, Feng Nan, Chong Yun No, Hans Joseph Taschjen, Catherine Arndt, Jesse Chen, Yoon Jae Choi, Ariel Horowitz, Yiming Mao, Shaoshuan Shi, Yejin Yoon, Abigail Paula Elder, Bethany Grace Hargraves, Rubina Hyunjae Lee, Bobe Lee, Sain Lee, Guillerme Nardelli Monegato, Su Yang Yu, Ross Whiteman, Ryan Elliott Linvite, Peter Sejong Shin, Joel Bentley Thompson, Corey Shotwell,
Please join me in congratulating our Master of Musical Arts degree recipients. And now we recognize those of you, 63 in number, who today have been conferred with the Master of Music degree.
Amelia Bryn Merriman, Hei Sol Her, Eleni E. Katz, Philip McNaughton, Andrew Lee Sledge, Griffin Botts, Nivanti Charya Karunaratne, Kenneth Andrew Chauby, Melissa Genevieve Munoz, James Daniel Alford, Jordan Scott Kriminger, Lyman McBride, James Aiden Zimmerman, Kevin Lee Zatina Jr., Eloise Carlene Jones, Kevin Chow, Po Wei Ger, Yun Liu, Stephanie Tang, Jarek Michael Cavagnaro, Meg Cutting, Thomas Anthony Ingui, Chase Loomer, Aaron Christopher Tan, Grant Theodore Wareham, Roberto Chung Granados, Satchel Taylor Henneman, Xiaobo Pu, Madeline Schofield Ellinger, Edwin Joseph, Laura Nicole Nielsen, Julia Oroz, Cameron Conley Daly, Beatrice Peju Xie, Yoon B. Kim, Ji Sun Lee, Pei Wen Liao, Julia Haley Ariella Meritzoev, Yebin So, Chuk Ching Tse, Eva Ilsa Wetzel, Dustin Riley Wilkes Kim, Albert Yamamoto, Arjun Ganguly, Minji Kim, Minkyung Lee, Alexander Ryan McLaughlin, Harry Joseph Dornberg, Yoon Han, Ha-An Song, Samuel Caleb Walter, Megan Yip, Yingyin Chia, Samuel A. Zagnit, Gabrielle Lily Herbst, Alexis Caitlin Lamb, Paul Mortilla, Miles Van Walter, Sarah Rose Noble, Oscar Edward Osicki, Daniel Lawrence Tucker, Madeline Jiang Woodworth, Harrison Miles Hinchy, Adrienne Lotto, Carolina Vochetsko,
Please join Deputy Dean Chin and me in congratulating the Master of Music degree recipients from the Yale School of Music. And now we come to our Artist Diploma recipients. The Artist Diploma program at the School of Music is one of the most distinctive and rigorous performance programs of its type anywhere. And I call now on Deputy Dean Chin.
Jisoo Jung, Llewellyn Kingman Sanchez Werner,
And now, join us in congratulating our Artist Diploma recipients. Also, at this time, I want to congratulate all of our graduates, the D.M.A. recipients, the M.M.A. recipients, the Master of Music degree recipients, and our Artist Diploma recipients. All of you have earned these degrees through hard work, with the nurture and care of a distinguished faculty, and with the support of an incredibly dedicated staff, and certainly with the encouragement and love of your family and friends. Congratulations to all of you. Each time we gather together as a school for convocation at the beginning of an academic year and at commencement to conclude the academic year, we sing together as a community, and we sing Schubert's wonderful song, On die Musik. It is a celebration of our being claimed by music for our work and throughout our lives. It is an expression of our gratitude as well. Your singing of On die Musik at the convocation last September was one of the most poignant musical memories I have had in my life. That evening began the 125th year of our School of Music. And I said some words to you that I want to repeat right now as we were all gathered in Sprague Hall together. I said this, and I quote, "You are physically surrounded this evening by the nurturing embrace of faculty, staff, patrons, friends, school, and university leaders." End quote. What I say to you now is even more important. That emotional embrace is now tighter and far more intense, even though we are separated. I hope that seeing and hearing this memorable performance, led by Professors Brooks, Schifrin, and Young, will affirm for all of us at this extraordinary school the good of all that has been and the good of all that will be. Bravo to our splendid faculty artists, Professors Brooks, Schifrin, and Young. And bravo to you, all of you who were singing at Convocation, and to all of you who were singing just now in your own places all through the world. I again want to offer my heartfelt congratulations to all of our graduates. But I want to take a moment now to ask the graduates, wherever you are, to join me in expressing your gratitude first to our distinguished faculty for their role in helping shape your musical careers and for assisting you in your own discovery of your distinctive musical voice. I know you will want to thank our dedicated staff, people who encourage and work with us daily, who enrich the life of this school in immeasurable ways. And perhaps many of you are with family and friends. Their investment of time, resources, but most of all, not an investment, a gift of love to you from the time they thought, oh, this child has musical talent, until this very day. I know you want to thank them. And hopefully you are at home where you truly can thank them and be near them and enjoy and appreciate the smiles and the tears that you see, those expressions that reward you for your hard work. I share with you a benediction penned by William Sloane Coffin, Yale's revered chaplain, who was for this university and indeed the nation, prophet and pastor. You will then hear and see the Yale Percussion Group sounding the rhythms that signaled the beginning of our 125th anniversary year. Wherever you are, wherever you go, follow the beat of your own hearts with joy and passion. And now, the words of William Sloane Coffin as a blessing to each of you. May God give you the grace never to sell yourself short, grace to risk something big for something good, grace to remember that the world is too big for anything but truth and too small for anything but love. So may God take your minds and think through them. May God take your lips and speak through them. And may God take your hearts and set them on fire. Amen.